Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the next normal. I'm your host, Sister Jenna. We are looking at an interesting energy that I think every person in the world has, and that's anger. It's never a vibration or an energy that makes you feel proud of yourself afterwards, even if you're deeply invested in its behavior. Many times we use anger as a form of trying to communicate something that someone's not hearing. But then we also use anger in order to hurt somebody's feelings. And we have a habit of using anger as the weapon to destroy another person, even their character. It is one of those weapons that everybody knows awfully too well how to implement or to apply. When you look at the wars in the world today, and you look at the gun violence in the United States of America, we're the only country that has such a high rate of gun violence and deaths as a result of gun violence. It's all a result of the violence, the anger in one's spirit. And so the question arises is, how do we handle that? As a nation, historically, there have been superpowers throughout time who have had the greatest of wealth, who have been praised, in which the world has always wanted to go to that country, to be a part of that country. And at some point, that country has lost its way, its light. There was a decline. And the decline, if you go back historically, is from the values and the virtues of its citizens. A country, a civilization, a religion, a tribe, a company will not lose its way or decline if it doesn't lose its virtues and its values. But when it loses its values and its virtues, it is on a downward spiral. And maybe that is the law of the universe. Maybe that is the trend. Maybe that's the ripple effect of time. What will be the next superpower after America? Speculations are India, China, there are even thoughts Australia, Russia's going at it, this one's going for it, this one wants it. Nobody knows. Whether it's America, India, Russia, Ukraine, Australia, China, Brazil, Bolivia, Ethiopia, Kenya, whatever it is, it's about people. It's not about countries. It's about the mental space of souls. And right now, inside of the souls of 8 billion people, including even babies, are born crying, maybe angry that they were in the womb for far too long. But let's just say that the population of adults, children, there's anger there. No matter what you do to curtail that anger, it's not coming out of people's brains. That soul has such a familiarity with that vibration. It is huge. There are so many different forms of anger. One in particular that I still feel, I'm not even proud of it, to tell you the truth. Irritation. I get irritated when I don't necessarily feel the team is understanding the dynamics of keeping it all together. I get irritated if someone's not understanding my very clear instructions. And then I have to keep explaining it 4, 5, 6 more times, and in different ways, that start to get not only irritated, but my anger starts to reach another level. Frustrated. Frustrated that I feel my energy is being used now in a wasteful way, and I need as much energy for myself as I can. It's as simple as this. Left is left, right is right. The person goes up. I never said up. Anger. Irritation. frustration. These are subtle forms. A lot of people don't identify them as the sanskar, the characteristic of anger. Then you've got the anger of, I'm going to separate myself from these people. I really don't like them. They're like this. This one's like that. I'm good. That's another form of anger. It's even connected with an intimate relationship with the ego. Both are in cahoots to try to really mess you up so that you don't earn your fortune for a future. You see, the role of anger is to deplete you of your inner resources. And at the moment when the anger has become full-blown, different forms of full-blown anger, eyes start to open up, mouth starts to open up, nostrils starts to flare up, and then you say the most hurtful, painful, aggressive things at a very high decibel, that even you drown out your truth, your consciousness, and your self-respect. But at the time, you believe you have the authority. At that moment, you feel you are in authority, and they have to listen to you because I'm in charge. And as a result of that, if you do it 2 times, 5 times, 10 times, 40 times, 50 times, if you do it in 5 births, if you master it in 10 lives, in 20 lives, anger just becomes a normal part of your soul's journey. And it's so interesting when you think of these things, you say to yourself, what is happening? So you have this full-blown anger, and when it's over, everybody is scattered. There's a tsunami of destruction behind you. You go off, and you're on your own, either feeling you proved your point, or you feel a regret, or you really are so caught up in the moment, you're just walking with the sense of righteousness. Then you've got this collective anger that initiates in the minds of our leaders of countries, where the leader feels it has the power to destroy another nation, or even destroy its own people. There are people who just don't realize the consequence of their anger, and it destroys everything in their path, including their fortune for the future. It's a very depleting energy. It empties out of your soul. And when a soul is empty, it does things to hurt other people, especially itself. So I want to take a very unique position on the root cause of anger. A lack of self-respect. It's a big one, right? A lack of self-respect is the root cause of your anger. And when you lack self-respect, and I'm not talking about the respect of your title, role, gender, race, language, nationality, no. I'm talking about your self-respect as God's creation, God's child. And we're at a particular very pivotal moment again in history. And what makes this particular time in history more pivotal than any other time in the past is the population. 100 years ago, our population was 1.45 billion. Just 110 years ago or so. Do the math. Google, I'm sure it's there. We are now having to deal with 8 billion. 8 billion of God's children on earth. And each of these souls are trying to find their way. They're trying to navigate their journey on planet Earth. And scriptures, religion, gurus, priests, nuns, imams, monks have no more impact on people's transformation. None. If they had an impact on the society, there wouldn't be a war today. There wouldn't be political factions speaking ill about each other in the same country. Political leaders feel their anger and their speaking negative and defaming the character of their political opponent or their political party is their way of winning votes. And what they're not aware of is that they're declining their country. They're dividing the country, and anything where there's a division, there is no power. Historically, countries in power have used the weapon of divide and conquer to rule over nations. Within certain countries, there are people dividing their own people to rule over their own country. And then there becomes no power in that nation, and the anger becomes so intense. It's like a fire, a wildfire burning everywhere. There's nothing you can do until it burns down and turns everything into ashes. In order to overcome any trace of anger, look into your self-respect. Look at your self-worth as a soul. Does it match the values of God, the qualities of God? And number two, you have got to maintain determination to be one of the best representations of a child of God. Because a child of God will not be angry. They will not shoot anyone or use a weapon. They will not bomb another country. And I think what people in the world are missing nowadays is that you think the life that you're living now, with what you can see with your two eyes, is reality. The reality isn't just that. The reality is your spirit and what happens to your spirit for your continued journey. And I feel if everyone understood that it's not just about you being in your physical skin that determines your happiness, your liberation, your peace in your physical skin. Live a life of higher purpose. But it's the journey of spirit. What happens after you leave this body? What's your next body? Why are some people born in situations where they don't have food to eat? And no rich person should say a poor person is lazy. They're some of the hardest workers I've ever met. Karma. Maybe a use of so much anger, there was no more spiritual energy left in the soul, so they come without any resources. You attract your resources based on your spiritual energy. If your spiritual energy was very charitable, you will attract a lot of wealth. If your spiritual energy gave a lot of anger to people, you'll attract a lot of obstacles, difficulties, because that's what anger does. It leaves a trail of destruction behind. So obstacles will come to try to destroy you over and over and over again. So when will you rise up from this energy of anger and really try to find your way out? Maybe today. And it's interesting because even as I speak about it, I can even feel the whole energy of that vibration, even just to speak of it. But the opposite to anger, when it's no longer in your spirit, you become peaceful. And you become a peacemaker and you rise people up because of your peaceful ways. I don't have to agree with you with everything, but I can peacefully tell you I don't agree. I don't have to shoot you. I don't have to kill you. I don't have to drop a bomb on you. But that comes from your self-respect. We need a civilization of human beings who have cultivated their self-respect and are willing to rise up. Are you going to be that today? Are you going to rise up and build your self-respect, that you will be so discerning and so careful that you don't drain your greatest resource, which is spiritual power, by getting angry over road rage, standing in a line at the supermarket, calling customer service for your phone bill or your electric company, or trying to change your ticket on a flight, waiting at an airport as the flights are canceled. That's a big one. Being bumped off of a flight when you had a meeting, getting to the gate because you're late. There's so many opportunities of anger, I tell you. But if you really work on your self-respect and you maintain a very determined focus, I've got to represent my Father, the one above. I'm his child. And no matter how much they hate you or insult you, you don't lose your peace for nothing. Let's take a moment and rise up and see what experiences you will get from the divine. I rise above. I'm the master of my own mind. I sit here with a pure intention to gain mastery over my thoughts and therefore mastery over my words and actions. As I hear the thoughts through words of others, I ask myself, is that my truth? My original nature is one of love, peace, purity, truth, and joy. And sometimes when I hear the words that do not match my original nature, I have the choice to rise above and remember who I really am. As a master of my mind, I decide which thoughts stay and which thoughts must go. I choose to rise above. As I rise above in consciousness and interpretations of stories, narratives that no longer support my truth or present, a greater power, a greater peace, and acceptance for myself and others surrounds me in this moment. As a master of my mind, I rise above, replacing thoughts of fear, anger, greed, and divide. Thoughts of belonging, respect, love, and wisdom. As I rise above, I find clarity, a deeper meaning, and the courage to continue to move on. I rise above, and I remember who I am and why I'm here.
and that is to love everyone the same. Let me sit in the state of being above.
Welcome back into Om Shanti. Did you like that meditation? I rise. You know, sometimes we're just going to lose it. But to serve that characteristic, that's a loss. That's a loss on many, many levels. I'd like to turn to our Sister Gita effect and experience her purity and her peace. I'll have to admit, I don't recall Sister Gita criticizing somebody, judging someone, or getting angry too much. When she got her dementia, the only time I saw her going, "Go," and it was always at Santosh. It was like he wanted her to eat properly, but she would go try to find food all over. And she would go, "Stop it. Why are you such an old man?" And she would grab the food because of the dementia at that time. I didn't see her as an angry person at all. Please enjoy the Sister Gita effect.
The topic is perception. It is our understanding of a particular situation in the right way or otherwise. In many of the situations, our perception will be negative or disappointing or pessimistic. Again, at the back of all these wrong perceptions, there are negative or waste thoughts. We must nurture, foster, and culture a positive attitude even in the midst of worst situations. Our perception is responsible to make a situation as a problem, situation, or otherwise. Problems do not lie in situation. Problems are hidden in our attitude and perceptions. Human nature, in its original and natural nature, is positive. Positive and pure thought are food for the mind and soul. We must train ourselves to think positive. In course of time, our perceptions will change accordingly. Here is an example. There was a rich person who was a football lover. He wanted to organize a football match at his hometown. He arranged for a football match at his hometown by constructing a huge football ground and invited world-famous football players. There were 22 players, 11 on each side. There was a festive look everywhere, and the people were enjoying the match. When the match was in progress, his only son, who was sitting by the side of the father, told his father that he was a miser. The father was surprised. He asked his son, "Why do you say that I'm a miser when I have spent so many thousands of rupees," that's the Indian currency, "to organize this match, and the people are enjoying the match so much?" His son responded, "See? Look at that, Father. Are you not seeing that 22 players are chasing only one ball? Why should you not supply some more footballs to them?" The perception of the father and the son is different. One is very happy and the other is unhappy because of a perception. Thank you. Have a wonderful day. Om Shanti.
I don't care how long she has departed and left us in her part. There's something about her spirit that still moves us. Today's Avyak signal, and we're focusing on the month of uplifting those who have defamed you. Sometimes you have to sacrifice your time, your happiness, name, fame, and desire for some attainments. But become a great donor, one who has renounced the desire to take from others. For only then would you be said to be full of the feeling of uplifting others. Those whose minds are clean, they have an attitude of uplifting even the ones who've defamed them. You want to prove you're God's child? Did you hear that point? If you have waste thoughts about yourself, and even for others, understand this now, your mind isn't clean. But when you cultivate a clean mind, and a clean and clear awareness, you will become one who uplifts others. I love that. So important. We've all been through stuff with people, no? We've given stuff with people. Don't think you're a saint either. You know, a lot of times we forget what we've done to others, but we remember what they did to us. We think we're innocent. Good morning, everyone. Good day to all of you. Kambili, Gigi, Tamil, Sweetie, Tara, Rashmi, Jasveen, Lee, Jenna, Ant, Nasira, Lolita, Sentil, Yukti, Skippy, Kailash, Dinesh, Tulas Kumar, Divya Baba, Denise, Brinda Bella. Om Shanti. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us on The Next Normal. I hope that this really helped you today to move forward. Purity, celibacy of the mind, that is true. Oh, funny and brilliant teaching there, Sister Gita, drives home the point of perception. So true. The perfume, if your mind permeates the digital atmosphere. Thank you. I'm able to dig power and inspiration from these sessions. Thank you. Hi, Tara. Thank you for your blessings, blessing me. Keep sending me your blessings, everyone. Rashmi, thanks, sister, for all your love and encouragement to move forward. Rashmi, your Baba's angel and powerful soul. And thank you, Lee. May Sister Jenna be healthy and happy. I will take it. Enjoy yourselves, everyone. Be kind, and hopefully today's sharing has helped you to climb the bar towards your excellence. And if you'd like to reduce your attachments that tends to warp things, practice loving everybody the same. Om Shanti. Take care.
Have you been feeling overwhelmed, stressed, out of balance lately? Do you crave for a pocket of peace and tranquility in your busy life, but you struggle to find the time or space? Then we have the perfect solution for you. Meditation on Wheels. It's an RV sanctuary traveling in the metropolitan Washington D.C. area, offering transformative meditation experiences. It's a movable oasis of calm at your doorstep. Book us today to come to your business, school, government space, or event. Why? We bring the calm to you. meditationonwheels.com